Background to the Attlee-Truman discussions, 1 million people cram New York Central Park to hear the president outline America's stand on atomic power.
There has been talk about the atomic bomb. We must find the answer to the problems created by the release of atomic energy. Indeed, the highest hope of the American people is that world cooperation for peace will soon reach such a state of perfection that atomic methods of destruction can be definitely and effectively outlawed forever.
Осталось 10, 9, 8, 7, 1, 0. Нажатие кнопки, все спасибо ярчайшим.
Far beyond normal shipping routes they lie, and until 1952, only pearl fishing boats entered the blue waters and left the cliffs surrounding their shores.
Censored by the French authorities, but this picture is impressive evidence of the bomb.
The great result of the cooperation of education with research. This is another victory.
Emergency alert system capabilities. This is an emergency action notification.
National alert and warning authorities, in coordination with emergency alert system participants.
My fellow Americans, as you know, our attempts at preventing nuclear war have failed.
Finally, Mars has accepted my sacrifices and unleashes me.
I see you, enemy. I see you, enemy. Enemy! Enemy! You are my enemy! And I swear total resistance to you with everything I've got. Disingenuous, fake, false, broke back, twisted, a defiler, a betrayer, a backstabber, a devil! You will pay. Yeah, you think I don't see your face, scum? You don't think I don't see you? I see you, you understand me? I know what you think of me and my family. I see you right back. You understand that? You understand that? You will fall! You will not bring humanity down! God is going to destroy you! Yo. What's up? What's up, Scotty? Relax, snowflake G's. What's that? Is that... Did you get Did you see the Asmongold in my title and said, I gotta see what this stream's about? What's this guy talking about? I don't know if I've seen you before. Yes? Okay. I figured that was it. It's been great. It's been great. I've been using Asmongold in my stream title every day for the past week or so. And I've been getting new people coming in and hanging out. So I do appreciate that. And I saw Alex Jones raging like a snowflake. Oh, yeah. Yep. That's a great AJ clip. I don't know who clipped it into the Warhammer stuff, but it's an amazing clip. But yeah, welcome in. Let's see. What are we gonna do? Let's get warmed up with a little slap. Having an okay day? I am having an okay day. I wish that it was not Sunday, or, well, no, it's technically Monday right now, but I don't. Wish I didn't have to go to work in the morning is what I'm trying to say. How about you? You and me, what's up? How you doing? Millennials selling homes. They bought pandemic realizing a mistake. Oh, I'm curious about that. Let me see that. But yeah, welcome in, you and me. How you doing? It's Monday for me, very late Monday, but it was a good day. Nice, yeah. Where are you from? Where do you live, Scotty? Is this article going to make me happy that I didn't buy a house yet? Because that's definitely been on my agenda. Let's see. Millennials selling homes they bought in pandemic after realizing mistake. 5 years after historic boom. New wave of home sales is emerging. Millennials who say they regret the decision to buy. Triggered by changing lifestyle, economic pressure, mismatched expectations. Many of these homeowners are reversing course. Millennials, many of whom were first buyers, often foregoing inspections. I've seen a lot of this. One of the cool things that I've actually, I don't know how it entered my algo, but it's been popping up on Instagram. Is like these people that do like home inspections, and it's crazy because all the new housing that got built in the past 5 years is just like really shoddy shit. These home inspectors go in and they find so much wrong with these brand new houses, and I'm like, you know what? I'm so glad I haven't bought yet, or at the very least, I'm really skeptical about buying, you know, a new home. You would think it would be great. You would think it'd be awesome buying a new home, but no. Aussie land, nice, very cool. You know, we have a couple Aussies in here from time to time. You'll see one Mr. PT Salty coming in. He's a fellow Aussie. Remember Dumbass Dem saying millennials were fine and were on track for home ownership with age, especially Destiny. He was so smug. That sounds about right. Yeah. I don't know. Now that landscape has shifted dramatically with let's see. With mortgage rates approaching 7%, inflation pushing up the cost of living, employers rolling back remote work policies, the realities of homeownership have collided with the optimism of early pandemic buying. This reminds me of 2008. This really reminds me of 2008. You know, once those fucking what was it? Adjustable rate mortgages. Once those rates started to switch on all the people that thought that they could afford, you know, a no income, no job mortgage, you know, at 2%, and then all of a sudden after a certain amount of time it flipped to about 12 or 15% or 30% or whatever it was. This reminds me of like 2008 all over again. Just how it shows how unaffordable homes are. Yeah, well, yeah, it's definitely, yeah. It's ridiculous what the I know what it's like over there, but over here it's insane. It's actually made me really glad I hadn't bought in a house. You know, one of the things I wanted to do when I got out of the army was buy, you know, at some point. But I figured, you know, we got an election coming up, and I'll just see if we can get an opportunity for the rates to go down and maybe home prices to cool off a bit. But I don't know. I think that even any numbers that were trending downward, just they weren't vibing. They weren't vibing. I mean, it shows how retarded the speculation on residential properties. Yeah. Like I said the other day, 2008 is like one of the most fascinating periods in American history for me. Some people love, you know, Civil War or Revolutionary War, World War II or whatever, Great Depression, things like that. Me, I'm fascinated with 2000, like the financial crisis. Absolutely fascinated with it, and I think that this kind of like reminds me of that. 86% of millennials who are selling their homes said they made mistakes in terms of buying their home. During the pandemic, according to 2025 first-time home seller report by real estate platform Open Door, nearly all of first-time home sellers who were surveyed, 91% said those mistakes played a major role in their decision to sell. 2020-2021, the housing market experienced a surge in demand. Median home price jumped from $289 to $418. Wow. Holy shit. The median U.S. home price jumped from $289,000 in 2020 to $418,000 by early 2025, an increase of about 45%, according to Axios. That is too fucking nuts. 45% over 5 years. Maybe even not even like four really, because we're only just getting into 2025. I don't know. I don't know when this was taken, but You know, 45% over 4 or 5 years is ridiculous, bro. Homeowners now pay an estimated $24,000 annually on top of their mortgage for the added costs. Compounding the issue, many millennials who relocated during the pandemic did so. Assuming remote work would be permanent. Yeah, that's one. I'm fortunate. My job is still remote, so knock on wood, it's going to stay like that. But with companies increasingly requiring return to office, long commutes, and the need to relocate again have become significant stressors. Yeah, I know a buddy of mine, actually. He used to live in Memphis, and he worked for a pretty big company. But because he was remote, he was like, fuck it, I'm just going to move to, he moved to some fucking, he moved to a state that not a lot of people, live in or move to, but it's just a place he always wanted to live. And he did it. He went out and bought a place out there, and he worked remote from his job. And, I don't know if they ever, gave him some kind of, return to office memo, but, he built his whole, dreams on buying that house way the fuck out there. I think taking glee in people trying to buy their homes is kind of horrible. It's not like they're rich. They bought those 3 properties on debt, and now they're probably deep-throating a shotgun. I don't care. They were smug about it and ignored my warnings. Yeah. Yeah, this has, all the makings of a 2008 Part 2, for sure. Which is why I was arguing for this controlled descent recession. Something that, the tariffs, the tariffs killed the market. And I don't know enough about tariffs to have a full-on conversation about it, but I was actually happy that the market had finally fucking started to go down, because it's been artificially pumped up for years. Every company out there is massively overvalued, massively overbought in the stock market. And that's just stocks, let alone stuff like this, housing prices. We went from fucking, what was it, 289 to 418 in 4 years? That's ridiculous. Everything needs to cool way the fuck down. And honestly, at this point, I don't even care how it happens. If it's with fucking tariffs and, pessimistic speculation, I don't care. Put it all in a pot and stir it up, and let's start cooling things off, because eventually they're going to bounce back. And on top of that, if they cool off, people can start buying houses again. I mean, who's the median house price is $500,000? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I mean, that means somebody with good credit and good income, probably has to pay at least $4,000 a month just to live in their home. That's not even considering taxes and insurance and everything. Dumb, but it was an excuse for a great reset. Yeah, no, I think it was I think it was poorly executed. I think if you're gonna tariff everybody, you don't blink. Don't blink. If you're gonna go balls to the wall on it, don't fucking blink. Clearly Trump blinked there. Housing fell apart in 2008, and it wasn't people who had a lot who suffered. It was the people who had the least. So those rich people ain't going to suffer. I mean, there were some rich people that suffered in 2008, but no one feels sorry for them, right? We only feel sorry for the people who got scammed into getting into a loan that they never should have got. So, yeah. Now, though, those same purchases may have them feeling locked in, as with higher prices and interest rates, it's been more difficult to sell. Expenses involving homeownership have increased, and not being able to easily move may keep them out of the running for new opportunities that require an in-person component. The homeownership equation just isn't working for them. Yeah. The question is, if all these, Gen Zers or young couples or whoever did all the home buying in the past few years are putting their houses on the market, how long will BlackRock wait until some of those houses, some of those owners are willing to come down, 10 or 20,000 on their asking price so that they can gobble it all up, Isn't that exciting? Isn't that exciting that BlackRock will inevitably have like another round of home buying coming up? Amazing. Amazing. Let's check out a little bit of slop. Where that slop at? Where that slop? Where's that slop at? Here it is. Here it is. We got that good slop. I think the tariffs made no fucking sense. I don't know why we got taxed like 20%. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know enough about it to say whether or not any of it would have made sense. Maybe you could have done it in a more measured fashion, but he went so fucking hard in the paint with the tariffs, and then he blinked. With the fucking computer chips or whatever, whatever he fucking pulled back on some things on, but that's true. The tariffs that made the least sense out of all of them were the ones with Australia. From what I understand, like we had a really, really good relationship, and in fact, I think it was more beneficial, I think, to the U.S. trading with the Aussies. So you don't buy your shitty beef and send on over there. Yeah, that's true. It's not all shitty beef. We do have some good farmers out here. It's just most of it's like machine fucking farming kind of stuff or that kind of shit. All right, what's going on out there in the world? Let's see.
I am practicing my rights as a parent, and I am in no way resisting. There are so many of us who are scared, whether that is that our children are gender nonconforming and we worry that they're going to be safe to pee at school, whether they are families of color who want equal access and fairness in our schools, or whether they are disabled students. I am practicing my rights as a parent.
Okay. We have the best beef hunters, no bias, totally, I guess, yeah. Probably like, on average, for the amount of beef that you guys put out, I don't know how much, A5 Wagyu's going on in down under, but yeah, I mean, probably like for the numbers that you guys put out, yeah, it's probably the best beef in the world.
They want white men in charge, and they want to put people like you in a camp.
I mean, that sounds good to me.
How can you even think that this is something that you should support?
Or the Cybertruck
people
goes so
with
fast.
With brown skin.
Yes, but the
are
Cybertruck
targeted.
is such a good car.
Don't you understand? You could end up in El Salvador. You could end up in El Salvador.
Wait, for what?
Prison.
Like for what?
For nothing, because they take innocent people. They don't give.
That's
them
not
due
fair.
process.
Miss Monique, hold your hand out.
And he's got tattoos.
What does that mean?
He's a member of a gang.
You're a gang member?
Bro, what is happening?
I'm still kind of caught up though. What kind of porn are they banning?
Anything having to do with sexual relations between a man and a woman, or a man and a man, or a woman and a woman, anything.
Who wants that though?
That's what the white Christian nationalists want. They don't want any porn.
Is it Elon?
If you got to ride in the Cybertruck, everything, your whole opinions will change.
He's brown. He's brown.
I thought he was like black.
He's brown. He's a brown person. He's not welcome in this country.
What the?
They want white men.
Oh man. I saw this. This is interesting. There are over 330,000 more. Oh, this is actually in Australia. This is for you, Scotty. Weird flip at the end there. Yeah, exactly. This says, why women don't want to date a, quote, red pill man. Warning as grim male trend erupts. There are over 330,000 more women than men in Australia, but despite the dating pool inequity, there's a growing number of single guys women will never pursue. These undateable men are those who subscribe to the, quote, red pill notion. Damn, Australia's got a big red pill problem down there? Holy shit, man. Red pill's taking over. I saw this yesterday. Yeah. This guy. I sometimes I can't even tell anymore what's real or what's not real. You tell me. You tell me if this is real.
Mom, I'm not gonna stop gaming just because it's 3 a.m. and you think my...
Okay, yeah, it's I don't think... Okay, this one's probably not real. There's so many of these kind of like cringy Reddit, Discord type fucking videos I see where I'm just like, I guess that could be real. If we're talking about Reddit and Discord, it could be, but this one's probably not.
Mom, I'm not gonna stop gaming just because it's 3 a.m. and you think my keyboard happens to be loud. Hey, Kenan, Ewa, you ready to watch anime? You ready to watch with Eric? Side eye. Side eye. Get it? Cause from TikTok? You're breaking up with me? Mom, I'm not gonna...
Like, there are people like that out there, right? He's a lot of these videos, I can't tell whether it's ironic. Yeah. It's gotta be ironic, but at the same time, there's gotta be people out there like that. There has to be.
Wearing misk, or musk, in Arabic we call it misk. Wearing musk and going to the masjid. This differs. If the musk can be smelt by others, specifically men, this is a major sin and it's totally prohibited. If it's a deodorant, if it is something little that no one can find the scent of, if you walk by them, it is permissible. The Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, and this is the main evidence, any woman who wears perfumes, and musk is one of them, any woman who wears perfumes and walks by men and they find the scent and they can smell it, then she is as if she is a fornicator. Because men have little brains. They're easily affected. So the smell gives them fantasies and makes them think of so many things. And Islam protects the whole community. You'd like to wear musk or other perfumes in your home with your husband, with your mahrams, with other women, no problem. But when it comes to going out, the driver finding the smell, the people in the mall finding the smell, this is totally prohibited and a major sin. Wearing misk.
A major sin. It's a major sin. Base feministism, this, yeah. What a fact checking, okay. Oh, here's another one. Here's another one.
I believe covering your face is part of dressing modestly to avoid attraction when you go out.
So, the danger is I might be attracted to you.
Absolutely, absolutely. The reason I wear... There are so many scholars who do feel that the hands and the face do not need to be covered, but there are also scholars who say that, yes, that it should be covered. And I feel it should be covered because the most attractive part of anybody is the face.
So is there a danger that males in the audience are attracted to every female in this studio's face who's here? Are they putting themselves in some kind of...
Not necessarily every female face, but yeah, it could stir some sort of...
Passions?
Yes.
Why would it not stir passions in a woman to see a man's face?
Well, it's about the burqa, isn't it, and about the woman wearing a veil.
Yeah.
And it's about why women are wearing a veil.
Yes, but I'm interested, if it's about equality, and you feel a sense of liberation, don't you? Why should men not be required to cover their faces too?
It's a good point, but I wouldn't question that. If this is how I understand what the scholars have said, then I would do it.
And it's God's will?
It's God's will. And if you out of your free will, choose to be a Muslim, then that's part and parcel of it.
And you're closer to the Prophet?
I believe covering your face is part...
According to Sunnah, this is in the Sunnah, which is the traditions and practice of the Muhammad. This is in there, but it's graded daif, which means weak, so unreliable. Okay. Oh, reliable. Okay. Daif. It's not about equality, it's because women don't have strength to assault a man. Isn't it pretty obvious women simply don't react the same way to men? Yeah, that's true. I think he was just trying to find, like, the logical consistency there. Not that there is one. I mean, we're talking about religion. No, yes, unreliable, as in wrong, not reliable. Okay, gotcha. The average woman is barely even heterosexual, really. Yeah. Yeah. Women eat hot chip, charge they phone, lie, and be bisexual. Is that basically it? What's up, Shang? How you doing? I will never understand. Like, somebody has to explain the neurochemistry behind fucking this kind of phenomenon, this fentanyl fucking shit phenomenon where people are just like slumped over. They're still standing, but they're slumped over. Like this guy's on a whole new level. This guy, bro. Like, I really want to know, like, neurochemically what is going on here, that somebody is this out of whack with their frame and they're still standing. The average man is basically sexually attracted to almost any woman who is young and in good health. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Stop making sense, Shang. Okay. Like, how does this happen? I'm not even talking about the drug use and everything. I'm just talking about, like, what happens to your body and your brain when this is going on. Like, why even stand at this point? You know, it's like you're not even in control of yourself. Probably something like dementia. Yeah, I don't know. Also, everybody around just not even giving a fuck. It's pretty fucking insane. They get stuck in weird poses. Yeah. You see this in dementia patients? Okay. Yeah. This is crazy to me. We got some Daddy Fuentes here. Let's see. What's he got to say today? Oh my god. Okay. There we go. What's he got to say today?
How else can you say it other than we don't want to live with these people? And I don't want to be your friend. And I'm kind of done being nice about it. I don't want to live in a fucking Indian neighborhood. It's too weird. It's too weird. It's too alien. I don't feel good when I'm in that situation. I don't want to live there. I don't want to live in a black neighborhood. I don't want the country to look like Mexico, where people are celebrating Mexican Independence Day and carrying on with all that. I don't want to live in an Indian neighborhood. I want to live in a white neighborhood. I want to live in a neighborhood with people that look like me. And people go, well, you're Italian. Well, you're this, well, you're that. Okay, see my face? See my green eyes? See my wavy brown hair? I want to live in a neighborhood where people look like that, where they have skin like mine and eyes like mine and features like mine and brown hair like mine and they speak fucking English, okay? And I don't care if they're fucking Polish. I don't care if they're English. I just want to be American. I want to be white. I want to speak English. I want to be Christian, preferably Catholic, and that's the kind of place I want to live in. Like, I don't know how else to say it other than that, but that's where it is now. I don't want my kids to go to a school where it's all Indian kids. I don't want my kids to go to school where it's all Asians or Hispanics or whatever. It's that simple. And it's getting worse. My entire life, it's getting worse. It's never getting better. And you still can't talk about it. You're still discouraged from talking about it in these terms. But these are the terms. Canada's been destroyed. America's next. So much of America's already like this. And it's just obscene. It's like, this is our home. This is my home. This is my life. This is all I've ever known. I've lived in the same area my entire life, a quarter of a century. And my parents lived here, and their parents lived here, and their parents lived here. And it was one way. And now it's all going away. It is all being changed, and it's becoming completely different. And, you know, by the end of my life, my hometown is going to be foreign. My hometown, where I grew up, all that is going to be completely foreign. And that's just evil. How else can you say it other than we don't?
I mean, my hometown's completely foreign. That's for sure. 100%. I'm from Miami. It is definitely foreign, bro. It is foreign as fuck. We talked about it yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. It's like, just, it's not even like, it's not even the United States in Miami. Broward County is, that's just north of Miami-Dade County. You go to Palm Beach County and you go to, like, you know, Orange County where Orlando is, or, you know, any other place in Florida. Yeah, that's all the United States. But once you cross that line from Broward into Miami-Dade County, nah, ain't happening, bro. So you agree with him? No, I don't agree with him. I don't agree with him. I understand what he's saying in the sense that a place can seem completely foreign to you. Trust me, if you, it's I don't agree with him. I enjoy living around, you know, other people and other cultures, and that's fine with me. I speak Spanish, you know. What's this link? Yeah, so no, I don't agree with them in that sense. But I do agree with them that a place can seem completely foreign in your own country. Just go to Miami. You don't even have to take my word for it. I promise you. Just go to Miami. People literally fucking roll their eyes at you for speaking English. It's the only reason why I had to. That's the only reason why I know Spanish, is because I had to learn it. It says this content is no longer available. From that link. This link is cursed. Either way, it says that it says this content is no longer available. So I don't know what that is. I guess I can understand it feeling different, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it makes you more prepared to deal with the real world. Yeah, I guess so. It just depends, man. I mean, like, there's some people that are like, they cannot live around other cultures. They can't live around like Nick Fuentes. You know, he's just like, he can't do it. I totally can. Like I said, I grew up in Miami. I lived in New York City for 7 years. I lived in Chinatown in Manhattan for 7 years. I speak Spanish. I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine with like other cultures. I have no problem with that. But but I will say it is fucking incredibly interesting. Just go to Miami and walk in any place and try to speak English to somebody and watch the reaction you get to that. Okay, watch the reaction you get to that, bro. They will look at you like you don't even know where you're at. Okay. And then, you know, at that point, I would just, if they did that to me, I would be like, no me importa, porque este país es mío, okay? And then they would look at me like, oh, this fucking gringo knows what he's talking about. And you don't have to worry about it if you live your life insulated. Yeah, then you should know no one other than your family. Yeah. What's all these links, dude? What is this? is this? It's like a giant article. It's not too giant, but what is this? A much needed slap in the face. One of the top animes I've watched in 2024 definitely was Frieren Beyond Journey's End. What the fuck is this, dude? The elven woman with her elongated lifespan struggled with maintaining relationships. What am I reading? What is this? One of the key highlights is this wondrous soundtrack that brings from it. Why am I reading it? Why is this a link about, like, racism and pattern recognition? Oh, okay. That's probably what it was. Maybe that's what it was. You scroll down a little bit, and there's a whole a harsh lesson in empathy. A harsh lesson in empathy, racism and pattern recognition. Now, the controversy that arises from the show is when critics make parallels to reality. What's up, Birdman? How you doing? They substitute the aforementioned demons for X and Y race, and ironically project their racist thoughts against fans of the show. Similarly, these same critics often equate orcs from Dungeons and Dragons to black people. Frieren highlights this subject matter astutely by maintaining an authentic and consistent level of evil in this race of demons. While there's much to debate in the realm of politics, this anime presents this side of the argument tastefully, regardless of what someone who disagrees may feel. Okay, well, I don't know anything about Frieren, but I get... I do like this whole empathy part. My grandfather would get so mad if Polish or Spanish didn't know English. Yeah. I don't think my race is extended family because I think I share far more in common with the family whose heritage were Chinese miners than I share with recent Italian immigrants. Even though I'm in the same race, or I share more in common with a Nigerian heritage English guy than with a Serbian. Yo, what's up, Wampa? The more you desire coexistence, the more people die by your hand. Well, it says here, there is no coexistence with people who you want dead. There is no unity when their best interest is to see you and your children suffer. While sometimes such behaviors can be reformed, we have to accept the fact that not everyone can be saved. And that, I believe, is the true cause of the heated anger of those who sharply condemn those who enjoy the anime. Frieren. Frieren's fucking causing a stir over here. There's a whole section of this article called Racism and Pattern Recognition. Amazing, amazing. Good, nice to see you. Yeah, nice to see you too, Wampa. How you doing? What's going on? You see the Battle of Ontario tonight? The Battle of Ontario. I think, what was it? I think the Leafs won, right? I think the Leafs won. Bat ain't got anyone to cheer for, so go Cats. Yeah, there you go. Game one for the Cats is on Tuesday. Last night was Dallas, Colorado, and Winnipeg, St. Louis. I'm pretty sure. I think Colorado won, and then Winnipeg won. Winnipeg won. And then tonight, Toronto won, and the other game was New Jersey and Carolina, and I think Carolina destroyed them. So I think we're off to a good start, but more to come on Tuesday. Oftentimes people speak of culture. They're speaking of things like what language someone speaks, what food they eat, what TV shows they watch. This I am not so concerned with. There's a growing scientific consensus that nature does a lot more than nurture in shaping you once you're old enough to be social. And then Shang says there is not. Shang just says no. Shang's like, nah, we're not doing that. What else we got here? Got some more. There he is. Ghibli Nick Fuentes right here.
If you're afraid of being called racist, then, I mean, what even are you? Our ancestors, not to go LARP, but like our ancestors did get cut in half with axes and swords for their religion or their nation or their king. People got blown to smithereens in wars, for some of them not even for anything, and you don't want to get called a racist? Oh, but like, you know, my wife doesn't like it when I say that stuff. Okay, then we deserve to go. What a joke we are then. What a joke. Oh, I can't, well, you can't say that. Oh, my wife hates when I talk like that. Oh, but it's really hard on my wife. Okay, so, I mean, okay. So then we deserve it. Then we deserve it. You know, why don't you just cut off your dick and balls and give it to her in a package? You know, if we're going to let women who sympathize with the people killing us, they're going to dictate the strategy. Why don't we let babies run our, why don't we let toddlers run our country at that point? Why don't we find 1 and 2 year olds and they can make the decisions at that point? So ridiculous. Everybody knows what has to be done. Everybody knows. When I say crime, what do you think of? Crime. Go ahead, shout it out. Crime, okay? Like we know. When I say the word women's rights, when I say women's rights, what do we obviously need to do? Take them away. This is just this is what everyone knows needs to be done.
Take them away.
And, you know, people joke about it. It's like a meme, but it's also not a joke at all. It's actually just what needs to happen. And if you're afraid of being called racist, then, I mean, what even?
Take them away. Oh my God. What else we got here? Oh, this guy went old school. This guy went old school. He used a fucking lasso to fucking capture a home intruder.
Today, a video is going viral on social media of a homeowner lassoing a man who jumped an iron fence to break into his home. Security footage shows the suspect entering the backyard. The homeowner briefly disappears into a side door, then returns with a lasso. The suspect runs. The homeowner chases him around the corner and throws the rope, catching him clean around the upper body and pulling him down. Today, a video is going viral on social media of a home...
That's ridiculous, bro. Let me run inside and get my lasso. Staged? Yeah, maybe. Probably. Who knows anymore?
If you really want to bag a shorty, go to the tea shop. Bring a book, bring a notebook, and just open it. Well, things don't know how to mind their business. They're going to see you reading. They'll be like, yo, what is this guy on? Why is he healing without me? Let me damage this guy. Because they love goods to damage. They love damaged goods.
He said, oh, I damaged this guy.
Doge posted this today. The Treasury Access symbol, TA.
If you really want to bag a shorty,
stop thinking fucking somebody else's get back. You ain't doing shit but proving my motherfucking point that you a hoe. You ain't shit. I should have never let you step into my motherfucking life and waste my motherfucking time. Obviously, I done made the biggest motherfucking mistake in my goddamn life. I done gave you all this passion and love for you just to turn out to be a hoe. And this not a bitch. Stop thinking like he.
Hell yeah, I like these. What you think? I got air in me? What the hell is wrong with you? He literally looked at my big ass and say, do you like to eat? Nah, I went by the gas.
Why would I waste time taking a shower every day if I can just take 365 showers in one day and be done for the year? Why would I waste?
I sold my grandma this calculator and told her it was an iPhone 14. No day coming. Y'all should have did my grandma like this. I sold my grandma this.
I love putting on the snorkel and looking under the water and just looking at these fish that are all of these different, unique colors, and you don't even know what the fuck they're thinking.
I know what they're thinking.
What are they thinking?
He can swim?
I love putting on the snorkel.
See that? I guess that's like, I don't know. Maybe there's, maybe is there such thing as good racism? Like, if not for racism, that joke wouldn't have been as good as it was. That was a good joke, and it wasn't like intensely offensive, It wasn't like dropping a hard R or anything. Oh, here's that. Here, actually, I saved a video of one of these home inspectors. What state are you at now? You still in Texas? Yeah, I'm still in Texas. I'm in San Antonio. This is actually this guy. Fucking yeah, this is a new home, and he just went and inspected it. I don't even think he was associated with. I don't even think he was supposed to. He just went and did it, I think.
See how this one doesn't reach?
We have absolutely no penetration.
Not only can I not tell you who the builder is, but words can't even describe this inspection. So we're just gonna jump right into it, but I do wanna give you a warning. I pretty much failed every single system in this home, and it's no surprise that the entire home is crooked.
The homeowner told the builder they have no insulation, and the builder came out and they said they fixed it. If they didn't do it right the first time, what makes you think they're gonna repair it right the second time?
And here's our beautiful insulation installation. Man, they definitely know what they're doing. Well, that doesn't look like 8 inches. There's the bare drywall right there.
Like I'd rather buy a home that was built in the 70s and have to fix it up than fucking buy a new home and get one of these fucking shoddy, fucking unfinished pieces of shit.
Man, inches does not meet
Yeah, half a mil.
standards. I think we need women installing our insulation. Now, if they can't install insulation correctly, what makes you think they're going to install trusses correctly? These fasteners have no penetration. And here is our broken truss member. And once again, I have no idea how these bigger inspectors do these inspections.
I don't know how this guy goes in here without goggles on, man, or some kind of eye protection. All that shit floating around.
I had to crawl through that to get to here. And if they can't install your trusses correctly, what makes you think they'll install your dryer vent correctly? And if they can't install your dryer vent correctly, what makes you think they can install your roof correctly? And if they can't get the roof right, why would they get the stucco right? And if they can't install the stucco correctly, what makes you think they can install the walls correctly? If they can't install the walls correctly, what makes you think they can install the tubs and showers correctly? If they can't install the tubs correctly, what makes you think they can paint the house correctly? So if everything is installed incorrectly, then of course the home is going to be crooked on the lot. But hey, if you squint, it's mint. But don't worry, the home inspector the builder hired said it passed. And so did the city. And here's our energy certificate, even though we're missing insulation.
I mean, you do know we're humans also, though, right? We're not going to do it perfect every time.
Yeah, but this was negligent. You know, I can understand a few mistakes here and there, but this is negligent, bro.
Is that going to make the house fall apart?
Defamation of character for what?
For
Oh, this guy. I think it's like old Mexican or is old white dude in a Trump hat went to a fucking Mexican restaurant.
I have a baby here with you. You're a disgusting, sick, vile,
And of course, like some Karen walks up to him.
fucking weirdo. Oh my God, it's fucking right. You dumb bitch, you're with this shit. He doesn't want me or you to have equality. Oh my God, go pray for me. Touch me and watch me touch your fucking hands. I will hit and hold you. Sit down. Get out! You're not welcome here. You don't want these people here. You're not welcome. You want me to make you be okay and comfortable in this one? Who the hell are you? Scares me, man.
I'm proud of this man. This man here is going to keep people.
Please call the cops. Thank you, sir. You don't like what fire short is, but you don't like medicine. Why are you in this Mexican?
Imagine walking up to a random table and just start yelling at somebody. Imagine doing that, bro. Imagine that. I've worked in restaurants and bars for 10 years. And I've in all of my time working in hospitality, I never saw something like this. Ever. Fucking ridiculous.
Y'all right now, this is crazy shit right here. This is some fucked up shit. I have a baby here with you. You're a disgusting, sick, vile, fucking weirdo.
Oh my God.
Anything men can do, we can do better.
All hands, hoist the colors high. Evil, thieves and beggars, never shall we die. All together, hoist the colors high. Evil, thieves and beggars, never shall we die.
Reject delusions. Embrace gender differences. Anything men can do, we can.
I do love that song, though. I think it's awesome. It's not that dangerous. Oh, man. You got that, and then you go from that to this. You got the absolute state of the West right now. This is fucking puppy play everywhere. And so you can stay at the pound. Yeah. Yep.
Yo, show enough here. I'm gonna call I see it. Black people, let me say this to you. I'm tired of us always pointing the motherfucking finger at motherfucking white people all day long. Every problem we got is always the white man's fault. We don't have no responsibility for none of the shit we do. I get it, started in slavery. I started in slavery. We hate the person that bought us, but love the nigga that sold us. Let me say it again. We hate the nigga that bought us, but love the nigga that sold us. You motherfuckers out here raising money for a motherfucking murder suspect and didn't raise any type of money for a baby girl who died at the car wash. Ain't that some shit? And then you white people that's racist out here, you making it bad for the other good white people who think and live life like I'm trying to live life. Peaceful. You making it worse for them, acting like you so angry at black people that never did shit to you because you part of the slavery shit too. But like I said, if you niggas really hate each other, why don't y'all just meet up in the park? Stab, shoot, kill each other so we can pick your bodies up, send it to the morgue, and then us good people, black and white, can live their fucking lives in peace. Yo, show enough here. I'm gonna call our...
Respect. What else do we got here? I think it's about it. This is another crazy lady. Uncle Ruckus's Joy. If we were to assume people are not born with them, it would likely vary between individual... Oh, you guys are still talking about that. Okay. I don't know. This lady was crazy. Let's see. She thinks she's like in the FBI or some shit. I don't know.
Oh, Jesus. Mary, stop doing that.
You're being bugged, you idiot. Russia's watching.
Like, I literally work for Elon Musk and the Air Force. You look me up. Christopher Moore. Bethany Moore. Call them. They know that I'm just. They can tell you that I'm good. They can tell you what I'm doing. I can show you proof that I can give you that number that's on my computer so that I can prove to you that this is for Elon Musk. Like, why don't you actually search my house, motherfucker? Please get me out of these cuffs.
We'll get him out in just a minute. Yeah.
Are you actually doing a background check? What are you fucking doing?
You can still be the ticket, and then it'll be up to court whether or not they keep that court.
What are you doing? What are you doing with my information? What are you doing with my information? What are you doing with my information, Microsoft? X! I dare ya! Fire this guy! I'm being compliant. Do a fucking background check on me, dude. I'm just...
Something in there already.
Oh my god, you don't even remember the 21st night of September. You don't even fucking remember. You have no idea. You don't even fucking remember. My name is Damien. My name is Damien. My name is Damien. My name is Damien. Fuck you. 4. 10-4. Yeah, they're gonna die. Yeah, they don't even know. They're stupid boomers. Fucking...
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my god, that lady was nuts. Absolutely nuts. Microsoft, yeah, exactly. Alright, I think that's it. I think that's it for now. No new incel video. He posted a few, but it wasn't like, it was just like, you know, I guess like TikTok videos where he would just, you know, like grab a comment and then put it in the video, and it's just basically a video of him staring at the comment for like 10 seconds. Nothing crazy. But as soon as we get more incel updates, we'll bring them straight to you. Eugenics could solve a lot of mental health issues. And that lady was like, what did she say? She's like, I work for Elon Musk and the Air Force, bro. Just call them. Call them and check me out. Yeah, okay, lady. Okay. What do we got here? Hey-ho, thieves and beggars, never shall we die. Yo-ho, Western Europe explained. Western Europe as explained by one Mr. Hassan Abi. Oh my god. Western Europe? Yeah, I'm curious about that one. I am curious about that one. Let's see. Let's see what he's got to say about Western Europe. There's a big flag of Germany there, so maybe Conrad will pop in.
And not deny this because it's real. Look. I hate to say it, but Gatsu's right. He's right. New Gatsu vid features you? Okay, dude, we'll watch it.
Western Europe is where artists go when they say they're going on a Europe tour. And the line is strictly defined like this. On the west of Czechia, there is civilization, businessmen in suits, and Mercedes. And on the east, there are construction workers, plumbers, and Mercedes, but old. Western Europeans look at Eastern Europeans as a source of cheap immigrant labor who are also sort of white. Polish and Ukrainian people might look white to you, but Western European race science can get complicated at times. These are the big boys, the colonizers, the bike lane people. The real big boy here, and which many of you know from history, is Germany, better known to Eastern Europeans as, oh yeah, my cousin lives there. Everyone says Berlin is not a good representation of Germany, and this might be true. However, I've only been to Berlin, and I loved it. Germany usually looks like this, but Berlin is just gray because of the Soviet occupation. And whenever you're in Berlin, it literally feels like Stalin's ghost is looking at you from above. And you can literally see the Soviet divide because after a certain point, call me blocks just spawn in. Also, Berlin is the most lit place ever. I went there with 3 of my friends and we had so much fun. It was amazing. There were diddy parties everywhere. I also went into a gay store, which we don't have in Georgia because it will get shelled by artillery, and saw a bunch of interesting things, and also got to talk with Elon Musk in there. And the Berlin Döner, oh my god, bro, it's so good. I swear they put in Berlin Döner.
Okay, it is good, but you know, this man better not step out of line here.
Bro, I would not be surprised because there's certainly not a lack of drugs in Berlin, but it's so good. Going to Berlin and not trying a donor is like going to Berlin and not a dude. And the funny fact is, if you removed Berlin from Germany, the country would get richer. Them having Berlin literally loses them money. Absolute cinema city. Then there is the rest of Germany, which has these extremely goofy outfits and dances, which I like. Like, look at them. You almost can't believe they declared war on the entire world twice. Of course, they lost every single one for now, but seeing as Rheinmetall is growing and the new chancellor is rearming Germany, let's see where that takes us. The new chancellor will rearm Germany just in time for the AfD, the fascist party, to win elections in 4 years. And then the fascists will have all these guns, and Poland is looking there so fertile and so unprotected. And they have their little brother down to the south named Austria. Vienna is like the most beautiful city ever. It's absolutely gorgeous, but it is also so boring, man. Oh my god, bro, ain't shit to do in Vienna. Literally, when I was there by 8 or 9 p.m, the streets were empty. Like, god damn, bro, go outside. I don't get it, man. Is Diddy roaming the streets at night? Where the are all the people at? And the thing is, the route I went was from Berlin, the latest place in Europe, to fucking Vienna, which is the most boring city probably in Europe for partying or something. But if you're into history and art, they have so much of that. First of all, every street in Vienna looks like it was crafted by an artist. I was looking down some random
Vienna is beautiful
alleyways and it looked gorgeous. Also, so much history. For example, there's Cafe Central in Vienna and
okay, part of its history is also deeply disrespectful because, you know, there are two great Ottoman conquerors that made their way to Europe: Joseph Stalin, okay, and also the Ottoman Empire. Joseph Stalin, of course, being Georgian, is Turkish spiritually, and also because he was 5'4", another Turkish trait, and also because he had a fat mustache, another Turkish trait. Yes, Joseph Stalin was actually a Turk. In both instances, if, yes, Georgians are Turks, stop. This is known, okay? Have you seen a Georgian man? Look at Gatsu. Gatsu probably got yelled at in Turkish everywhere he went in Berlin because they were like, oh, this is one of ours. If I saw him walking down the street, I would speak to him in Turkish instinctively. Have you met a Georgian person? It's so funny that Georgians are Christian, so they literally think that they're a part of the European Union, except if they were to go to the European Union, or if they were ever to somehow be magically invited into the European Union, they would get hate crimed because everyone would assume they're Turkish. They would constantly hate crime them as Turks. They'd be like, no, you don't understand. I am Christian. They'd be like, shut up, Turk. We know who you are. Anyway, having said that, Austria is the reason why you couldn't have the glorious Ottoman Caliphate rule over the entirety of Europe, all the way to the UK, and basically liberate these Christians from their backwards ways, okay?
Nearby there, in 1913 to 14, used to live Stalin, Sigmund Freud, Trotsky, and the Emperor of Austria. Insane lineup. Only in Vienna, bruh. The buildings in this city look amazing. They built these buildings to tell you and show you that they are better than you. Like, the only reason for building this fancy
Lenin Türk diyorlar, Tatar diye karıştırdın. Yok, Lenin de Türk, evet. Oh, also, yes, Lenin also Turkish. Like, yeah. Classic. Yes, chatters, both Stalin and Lenin were Turkish. This is known.
It's just to flex on you. Like, yeah, we're better than you. What are you gonna do about it? But the thing is, Turks finally made it to Vienna, which is how you get Ferhat Doner, which is famous for being so good. And when I checked it out, there was literally a line of Austrians waiting to get in, and it's so good, bro. I nearly busted under that table. But the Austrians are clearly not appreciating these nice Turkish men making this food, because why the fuck?
Look at this, bro. You
clearly
okay, here,
not
hold on.
appreciating these nice.
You think motherfuckers are gonna think? I mean, everyone here is Turkish, okay? Armenians too, by the way. That's another take. You could take that home to the bank with you. Greeks, Armenians, they go to Europe and everybody goes, oh, you must be Turkish. I'm serious. They literally think, Europeans think everyone that looks even a little even a little dark, okay, just a little bit, like dark hair. The left guy on the guy on the left literally looks like you. Dog, that is me. That's me. He put me in the video. That's so funny.
Turkish men making this food because why the are they voting for a Nazi party? Oh, just because they don't want immigrants, they're not Nazis. My party was founded by an SS lieutenant. Look at this, bro. What are you on about? And the thing you will notice after being in Vienna is that Austrians like to follow rules and orders. Me and Leo literally had a security guard of a bar coming up to us when we were smoking outside to shush and not be too loud because those are the rules. He was telling this to literally other people that were speaking in normal voices, not being loud. And he had that look. I'm just following orders. But I knew he was secretly enjoying it, which is a metaphor. And me personally, I don't like a German or an Austrian guy telling me to do something, telling me to follow orders, you know? I think they learned in World War II about talking to Georgians that way, you know? And Austria is generally very gorgeous because they have Vienna, which is probably the best looking city in Europe. And when you go outside, it's these beautiful mountains with nice water, just absolute cinema. This looks cartoonishly good. And a lot of famous people are actually from Austria, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mozart, Sigmund Freud, and a person who has been gaining a big following lately, especially in America. But I don't care what kind of war crimes they have committed. Have you tried schnitzel? It's so good. Going to Austria and not eating schnitzel daily is like going to America and not eating a burger. Belgium is a fictional country in Europe made up by the European Union bureaucrats with the intent of smuggling all of Europe's cocaine and headquartering the European Union. This is precisely why half the country speaks French and the other half speaks Dutch. This is also why they don't really care about Belgium. It looks like shit, and Brussels is so ass that there's literally a term for it called Brusselization, which means making your city look like shit. The roads suck, and the border from Belgium to the Netherlands looks like this, where you can clearly see the divide between an actual country and the fictional entity known as Belgium. Belgium is where most of Europe's evil takes place, and this has been the case throughout history as well. Not to
literally, it's true.
To forget the shit they were doing in the Congo, Belgian chocolate, my ass, not a single cacao tree grows in Belgium. Man, I wonder how they became so famous for Belgian chocolate if they don't have cocoa in Belgium. And because the EU is headquartered there, the whole country got
some of the most ruthless monsters in
used
general.
to hypocrisy. They say we are sanctioning.
This is why a lot of people. This is why a lot of people in like developing nations will be like, we'll talk about or not even developing nations, like academics have talked about this as well, in terms of like the otherization of the Holocaust in comparison to like prior Holocaust style ethnic cleansing campaigns that do not get the same level of attention, or people don't even know about it.
Russia, and then keep buying gas and oil and everything from them. And of course, exporting products as well. More things as well, such as when they honored the Congolese leader they helped overthrow. I hate to agree with Nigel Farage on something, but I do consider Belgium a fake country. Their colony of the Congo was fake. They didn't even colonize it themselves. It's a massive EU headquarters with cocaine and bad roads. They made Baldur's Gate 3 though. You know, they get very big points for that.
Now, despite the UK's kind of democratic decision to nuke its economic and political ties to the EU 9 years ago, it's still an important player in Western Europe. I swear, bro. The UK has Europe's second largest economy, and assuming you're not counting Russia.
It's just London, by the way. This is so funny, where they're like, the UK has Europe's second largest economy, and it's just London. Just London.
Or Turkey. Great Britain also has Europe's second largest population, which is kind of insane because we don't even rank top 10 in Europe by actual size. Finland is bigger than the UK by area, which is why this country can feel like such a compacted cluster of sometimes. You could drive 1 hour down the motorway, or alternatively sit on a 50 quid significantly delayed, crammed, sweaty train full of angry geezers just like yourself, and you'll end up in a completely different world from where you started your journey. The accents, the scenery, the slang, the buildings, the people's looks. You can literally switch biomes in like half an hour in this country. I've never been anywhere quite like it. For example, let's say you started off in Wolverhampton, yeah, Wolvo, the far west of the West Midlands. We call this region of our county the Black Country, because from the Industrial Revolution until about 1970, there was enough coal being burned in these parts to cover everyone and everything in soot. It's industrial, it's rough, it's not very aesthetically pleasing, but at least the people sound funny.
This is a quick video message here to Donald Trump's Vladimir Putin, Vladimir Zelensky, and to Israel. Let me know you. Right, you all invade him everywhere. Israel's after Gaza, apparently. Russia's after Ukraine. Donald Trump wants Canada and Iceland. But look, we'll come to a compromise, because none of us want to see World War IV happen. None of us want that. I ain't getting involved with it unless I can do it remotely on the PlayStation with the drone.
Okay, first of all, this is the true thinker of our time. Give this guy a New York Times column, dude. Why is it always, yeah, what does he know that we don't know? Did 3 happen? He's like, whoa, 3 is happening already? Already?
I'm not getting involved with it. Not with my back, right?
Not with my back.
So I've got a solution for you. You can all share this and we can call it peace. I'm willing to compromise and say to you all, you can all have London. Yeah, you can all have London, the capital of England. I tell you why you can have it, because it's full of total cunts like yourselves.
Then about an hour down the road, you'll have driven through 3 different English counties: Hereford, Staffordshire, Shropshire. Then you'll cross the border and arrive in Wrexham.
Bro, England is the perfect representation that if you leave white people isolated on an island, they will inevitably fight amongst themselves. Okay? They love sectarianism. Like from zip code to zip code, the accent changes. It's like, yo, you're one country. Like how did this happen? You put Americans on this landmass that is so vast, and the southern accent is basically getting eroded at this point. And it didn't even take that many years. You put white people, however, in an island like this, and holy dude.
Per Welsh, small rural city. Here they have thick Welsh accents because they speak the mythical language of Welsh, not English. They got castles, rolling hills, sheep farms, you know, everything you could expect in Wales. And bro, Gigi, please put a photo of some Welsh words on the screen right now so they can see how insanely foreign this is. Nah, bro, I should have never trusted this Welsh plug, bro. You mean I gotta go meet you round the back of Lanfair, Flgwyn, Glgogor, Trywindo?
I think that's a real place. Lanfair, I think I've seen that before. That's actually like the name of a real fucking place.
Williant, Silo, go, Goch, train station. I'm not doing that, bro. Anyway, so from there, you drive 30 minutes down the road, you're back in England. And God forbid you're in Chester, known for being genuinely like the poshest, most upper class city in all of North England. People here have posh English accents, you know. Fetch me my cream tea, woman. Yeah, Chester looks insane. It's like all Tudor buildings. It's one of the few English cities that have these famous horse races, the Chester races, that are attended solely by inbred posh drunk wankers. They got wine bars, upper class nightclubs with insane dress codes and you know, type of places that me and Gatsu would immediately be kicked out of for looking too hood, which has happened before, only in Vienna. So yeah, that should paint a good picture of Chester for you all. Then, an approximately 40-minute drive later, you've made it to Merseyside, Liverpool, where even
I'm a Scouser lad, not a Tory.
Lifelong Brummy struggles to understand the accent.
I'm Sammy, you know, Paul, I'm buzzing 3-1 win against Arsenal, only team to win the first 3 games. She's right. Come, mate.
This city is industrial, rough, not much of a looker. Like 29% of children in Liverpool live in poverty. And just like where I'm from, Liverpool is in the top 10 UK cities on the crime index. So yeah, hopefully aside from absolutely making the day of anyone who's a relevant British city I just mentioned, that has given you a good example of how condensed this damn island is. We're really fitting the entire population of France into the land area of Kyrgyzstan, or like 2 Guatemalas, okay? All I'm saying. I mean, if you have a look at the metro areas of like Manchester or Birmingham or Glasgow or obviously London, you can kind of see how the word city is just an abstract concept on this island. We live more like splatters of baked beans on a long toasty soldier. Real ones know, man. Real ones know. But yeah, I've probably recorded enough now for Gigi to edit for another 2 weeks. And also to preserve my mental health a bit. And instead of delving too deep into the politics of this land I call home, I will give you a single stock image to represent how me and every single other Brit, apart from the occasional billionaire, feels right now.
Getting ready to go babysit. Women are cruel mistresses who wear like this to excite little boys, and they don't even have the decency to molest them. I have never been less surprised to see a French flag in my life than attached to this post. France is a country that gets a lot of hate. I think like 90% of it is deserved, mostly because of their colonies in Africa and their neo-colonialism they're still doing, literally having the word France-Afrique to describe their African colonialism in today's age. And even though their president is pretty handsome in my opinion, I kind of don't like that he went to Africa out of his mind and started telling the locals that they should be grateful for France. When I'm out, I start posting about how bad the Armenian genocide was. We are not the same.
What?
Out, I start posting about how bad the Armenian.
I know I have a lot of Turkish viewers. I hope you guys understand this happened and not deny this because it's real.
Genocide was. We are not the same, Macron. You should be grateful we give you diapers even though we take away gold. Get a load of this cracker. I hate to say it, man, but I still kind of like France. No, don't unsubscribe, no. With their policies and their work laws and how much they love to protest. Game recognizes game, you know? Every worker can unionize and they are protected by the state. Employers can't fire you on some bull. They have a 35-hour work week compared to the standard of...
Yeah. Look. I hate to say it, but Gatsu's right. He's right. I think I'm not even kidding when I say this. It's entirely because of Squeezy. Lucas is the reason why I have totally reversed my decision on France.
40, and if you work overtime, they pay you 125% of the money for the first 8 hours and 150% for the rest. Also, a lot of companies include the 13th month's salary, which is just 1 full month's salary they give you at the end of the year as a bonus. Just go to labor laws, bro, I can't lie. Paris gets a lot of, you know, I've seen La Haine, I love that movie, and I don't know why, but I still think
I just watched La Haine. Is France really that bad? Oh, listen. As an American, it would be really, really hypocritical of me to criticize France for policies that we implement here on a daily basis. La Haine is also an amazing movie. I highly recommend you watch it.
Paris is pretty nice. I can't believe that other parts of France are much nicer and look better, but come on, man. Paris is really not that bad. Y'all are just hating. Go to Prague, bro, and tell me Paris is worse. Get the out of here. Also, the fact that they got 70% of their power from nuclear power, what do you want me to say, man? They're a rich first world European country with good labor laws. It's pretty good. But in my opinion, they need to stop voting for parties that are named things like La Pédophile Raciste, you know?
What?
Are you ever planning to go to Switzerland? I googled and saw Georgians get night.
What the fuck party was that? La Pédophile Resiste? Oh, La Pédophile Resiste. I thought it was a resistance, but it's actually racist. Okay, that can't be a real party. The racist pedophile party. I just caught it like fucking. We love Russia party. Good vibes for everybody party. Okay.
feel raciste, you know? Are you ever planning to go to Switzerland? I googled and saw Georgians get 90 days visa free. Trust me, it's worth it. Bro, I don't know how much money you think I make off YouTube, but it isn't that much. Switzerland is
I've been to Zurich. It's crazy.
a fictional country in Europe invented by Germans, French, and the Italians in order to have a place where they can put all of their looted gold.
And also a place where all of the pedophilic billionaire elite can escape once like the nukes come dropping, okay? Switzerland, what do they know? A question I ask myself all the time. Number one, lots of gold there. Very strange. Where did that gold come from? Oh, that's right. It might be sea gold. Number two, why do they have more bunkers than Enver Hoxha? How is this a country that has so many bunkers upon bunkers in the mountains? Very strange. Switzerland, fun fact for those of you who don't know, have enough bunkers for every single Swiss citizen plus 13% extra. It's interesting that they have bunkers for every single citizen, every single national, but then also just a little bit off the top. Is it because it's adjusted for population size and its potential increase? Or is it because of, the wealthy people that might fly there when pops off?
Such as when Switzerland helped launder 91 tons of Nazi gold, and when the war ended, they only returned 3 tons. What happened to the rest? They don't know where it went because, you can easily lose 90 tons of gold. It's just like...
Yeah, highest gun ownership in Europe, on the European continent as well. Highest per capita gun ownership in the European continent. Every Swiss learns how to shoot guns. If you've ever seen like any, gun ownership in Europe videos or whatever, they'll talk about how like children at an early age learn how to shoot guns and things like that. Interesting stuff. I don't know. What do they know? What do the Swiss know? I don't know. It's, a question I ask myself all the time.
Like pocket change. Them being evil and helping every rich person in the world launder money aside, Switzerland is goated, man. The only issue is whenever you say you're Swiss and you try to talk about life problems, everyone in the world will tell you to shut up. Nobody in Switzerland has ever gone through 100th of bull that anyone in Eastern Europe has ever gone through, plus Turkey, honorable mention. But that's only because they're ruled by a Georgian, so what do you expect? My country is ruled by Georgians as well, and it's the complete opposite of Switzerland. The only thing we have in common are the gorgeous mountains. Flying over Switzerland reminded me of flying over the Caucasus. That is a very big compliment because this was gorgeous, man. And where the Swiss win is their amazing protection of their environment and these cool-ass trains. How did they even do this, man? Swiss trains are literally made for dates. Swiss train views are gorgeous. This looks like a Studio Ghibli film. Oh my god, Gatsu, thank you for telling me. I want to go there now. Yeah, about that. Unless you make a bunch of money or have your trip covered by a Belgian billionaire making money off mines in the Congo and laundering his money through Switzerland, good luck visiting there, man. You cannot even get a hotel in Switzerland with a private bathroom for less than $1,000 a week. Let me say this in American. 20 chicken McNuggets in American McDonald's cost $8. Swiss McDonald's cost $21 for 20 chicken McNuggets. So yeah, it's pretty expensive, but it is so beautiful. It is on my visit list and I will definitely go there. But if you want a cheaper version, come to my country. We have taller mountains than the Swiss and it's not as expensive. Every single person who has been to Spain will not stop talking to me about it. They keep saying, oh, it's the best place ever. It's so nice. It's so sunny and everything is so cheap. The thing you gotta realize about Spain is that they were running. Spain and Portugal were so powerful at one point that they made a treaty splitting the entire world between them. Some people might call this treaty a little too ambitious, but aim for the stars, so if you fall, you end up serving British tourists. But their ambition failed them because they were simply too lazy to do all this. They discovered the native and getting free gold from South America and never wanted to go back to grinding. So when all their colonies eventually...
Honestly, I think that at some point, I think I'm going to have to rewatch this. But particularly with Conrad. I would be super curious to get Conrad's reaction to this, because I've never been to Europe, so I just don't have any frame of reference. He lives in Germany, so I think it'd be interesting to get his perspective on this. Grand Designs, the Pope died. What? What are you talking about? Am I getting trolled or what's going on here? Pope. Still recovering from pneumonia 17 hours ago. 20 hours ago, met with J.D. Vance. Happy Easter. Pope has died, the Vatican says, 9 minutes ago. Holy shit. The pontiff, who was Bishop of Rome and head of the Catholic Church, became Pope in 2013. Sky News, yeah. What's the impact of that? I mean, I grew up Catholic, but it's been a long time since I've practiced Catholicism, so I haven't kept up on all things Vatican. Also, how you doing, Grand Designs? What's going on? I think I'm gonna stop this video here. I think I'd rather watch this when Conrad's around, because there's like a lot of things I think that he could probably add some context to. Plus, I kind of just want to get his reaction to it anyway. What was this? Racist maggot. Racist maggot accuses Democrats of treason over immigrants. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Brian, we're talking to Brian in Florida. Brian, you're on the line with Promise and Jimmy.
How's it going?
Just peachy. Was it my thread that got you to call, or was that not it?
It was. You do a good job. And,
Thanks, buddy.
Actually, the other day I called into a different. Hey, don't congratulate me too soon. You'll probably hate me soon enough. I called into another show and had a conversation with some liberal folks. And I thought it was a productive conversation.
On the line, you called into the line to talk to a liberal folk?
Well, they were doing on the phone, but they were doing a YouTube show, like a call-in show.
Are you talking about on this channel, or are you talking about a different channel?
Different channel. And so I'm like, all right, that was kind of fun. I'll see what else is out there and have another conversation.
Great. Well, it's your meeting, sir. Give us your presentation.
Yeah. Well, the thing with the immigration, I think, so the treasonous thing comes up a lot, and that's what goes through my mind, and I believe it is treasonous, the letting in of illegal immigrants. The reason being is because it affects the number of seats in Congress that we can actually...
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
It's based on the census, right?
And the census does not... This is another old myth. You do not get more. You do not count people who are here illegally.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Well, you can look it up. I mean, anyone who's listening can look it up.
And I have.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Media coverage of Pope funeral and election. Yeah, that's going to be big. Yeah, you're right there. New Pope will be used to distract from other more pressing issues, focus on his life, but little focus on wealth, scandals, and victims of the Catholic clergy for the next months. Glowing coverage by mainstream media. The Catholic Church will go on. Yeah. I think you fucking hit the nail on the head on that one. I think I was, what was it? John Paul was the last one. I think I remember that kind of thing being the same kind of vibe last time.
That's just a fact. Like, the census includes all populations of the area.
No, it doesn't.
Hold on. Are you calling in support of Trump? Is that right?
Yes.
But we're talking about treason?
I think it's I think they knowingly let the
When do you
border
care about
open.
treason and when do you not? Do you care about January 6th when treason is committed? Or when do we care about it? When do we not?
I don't think that was treason.
Okay, gotcha.
No, because the reason being is he would need to have staged an insurrection. And I think that's the reason that liberals use the word insurrection, is because it has that power in the Constitution. But there's a legal standard for inciting an insurrection that he didn't meet. And they would have shoved it up his ass if he did meet that standard. And he didn't meet that standard. So that is what that is. And I think letting people in the border, knowing that it's open, letting them, knowing that they're having an impact on the congressional seats, I think that's treasonous.
Yeah, except for again, that isn't true.
I mean, the census itself, you can look it up, census.gov. It's verifiable.
I know what the census is. I know what the census is.
Maybe you can provide a link. If you provide a link that says that illegal immigrants aren't included, then I'll perhaps reconsider.
Oh, perhaps you'll reconsider. If you accept whatever source I have, when your source so far has been, trust me, bro, and please go look it up, to which I'm just going to say back where you're having a conversation, and I'll just tell you back to go look it up.
Oh, I said census.gov, so that's a source.
Census.gov does not, you said, give me a linked source to where it says immigrants aren't counted. So when I type in census.gov, what you're telling me, stop, census.gov, when I open it, since you're saying that is your source, the source is going to say, by the way, illegal immigrants are counted toward it's going to be the counter of what you just said.
Honestly, whatever you type in your search thing, I don't know, but look it up. We're right here.
Oh,
Let's
you just said
I'm
census.gov will get me there. Okay, census.gov.
Let me get up. I got to get up. You guys are the ones with the computers. I got to go to the computer.
Yeah, you got to look it up. You got to look it up for the first time ever.
Can I put you on speaker? Well, I don't here, can I put you on speaker for a sec?
German guy.
Go ahead.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. One of them was Argentinian, right? Was Francis Argentinian? I think it was Argentinian, right? Census does include non-citizens? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
One sec.
Well, we can't just go to complete silence, though, either. We're not going to just sit there and...
So, yes, illegal immigrants are included in the U.S. Census. The census counts everyone who lives in the United States on Census Day, regardless of immigration status. This includes undocumented immigrants and green card holders.
Sir, you're just reading to me something you Googled. What are you looking at? Where?
Here's the URL. Frequently asked questions. Census.gov/topics/population /foreign-born /about /FAQ.html. At the bottom of the page, it says, do the data on foreign-born collected by the Census Bureau include unauthorized immigrants? Yes. The U.S. Census Bureau collects data. I looked it up before, bro. You don't need to be an asshole.
Oh, sir, yes, I do. And by the way, so far, the URL you just gave me didn't get me there. I don't know if you said it wrong.
If I'm going to keep going, it's a long URL. It's a very long URL.
You're fine, Brian. I'm pulling it up myself. Brian, shut the fuck up when I'm talking to you. I'm going to pull it up too. I can find the stuff myself. On your topic of treasonous, is it then therefore treasonous? Are you saying Biden committed treason?
I suspect that he did, yes.
Great. So Trump's immigration policies also had similar amounts of immigrants deported. There were the differences between them. In fact, Biden's was lower than Trump's when he left office. So has Trump also committed treason if his policies did not actually dramatically improve it in his 4 years?
He's trying to end it, though. That's the difference is Biden.
What do you mean?
Wants it open.
So wait. So whether they do it isn't what matters. It matters what they want. Trump has had full government control twice now and hasn't stopped it.
So you think he won't try to close the border?
Oh, I think he's going to do anything that looks like that, but a full closure, no, because it's terrible for billionaires like himself. He's definitely not closing the border down. He's going to do things that he says is closing the border, just like he pretends he already built the wall. You know, when we built that wall, shut the fuck up while I'm talking, Brian. This is the problem why people... Dude, you're such a little bitch. Shut the fuck up while I'm talking, dude.
You're just mad.
Why can you not shut the... No, you haven't gotten me, Brian. You've only given me trust me, bro. Okay, watch, buddy. Watch this, buddy. This is where I can offer you the opportunity to shut the fuck up while I'm talking, or I can force you to shut the fuck up while I'm talking. You think you're so right about everything because you just say this trust me bro shit, And then you're jumping in with over talking me when I'm making my point. So you don't even fucking know what points I'm going to make. I haven't even had time to pull up and verify what you think is correct, though I already know that the data has shown that any adjustments for illegal immigrants has only perhaps adjusted one seat ever. But you're going to sit here and go, you're going to hate me by the end of it. And it has nothing to do with the fact that you disagree. It has everything to do with the fact that you're a little fucking bitch. That you're a little fucking bitch who cannot shut the fuck up while somebody else is talking. Shut the fuck up. What point were we on, Promise? Do you remember?
No, I'm still stuck on the fact that we're talking about treason while we're voting for Trump, but...
Oh, yeah. Right. Is he going to close the border completely? No, he will, just like he did with the actual house, with the actual border wall. He will claim he did stuff while not doing anything that's actually going to harm billionaires in any way. That's what he's going to do. And that's literally like, it's going to all be for show. Now, Brian, thank you for waiting very patiently. I have no desire to get interrupted anymore. So if you're thinking I was going to unmute you, you were wrong. Bye, you little bitch. Oh, you're going to hate me because
I'm just bummed we got hung up on that one point because I feel like there was a whole nother part of that conversation, but
it's already been debunked a bunch of times. Regardless, it is already adjusted for. It's already figured out. And well, as far as census data goes, when they go and they study illegal
conspiracy. No, I mean I've seen this channel before. They do like a lot of like LGBTQ content. There's a lot of like they have a bunch of hosts and they do just, you know, stuff like this where it's two people and they take call-ins. It's called The Line. I've seen a bunch of them where they do LGBTQ, and I'm sure, you know, they're going to do some more contemporary political kind of stuff here too. But
immigrants don't admit to being there either. Like, it's not, these aren't people being like, yeah, here's all of my information. Let's talk about it. Let's do it. Not to mention, just fucking moving on.
Several calls. Brian calls back. Oh shit!
All right, I pulled you. Brian, it's Jimmy. I pulled you out of the screening room so you could come back on. Okay, bro. What is up, dude? Right. Have you been listening? You've got fans now. I just got tone policed by an atheist about being too mean to you. Were you listening to that call?
Yeah, I feel bad. You know, you were a little mean, but it's okay, man. We're all good.
All right, Brian. You know. So let's talk about the specific points. Let's clarify everything earlier. You are aware that 435 is the limit, and no amount of illegal immigrants is going to change that, correct?
Yeah.
Of congressional seats. Your point is that the distribution of those seats can be affected by, or even are affected by, the number of illegal immigrants in the area, where those seats are going. That is your point, correct?
Correct.
And that does appear to be correct. How significant of an effect do you think it has, and do you think it is only to one party's favor?
I don't know, man, because it's 11%. So the numbers that I've seen, and we can, you know, verify them or whatever, but and even if it's not 11%.
What specific are you saying is 11%? That 11% of the population is illegal? 11% that actually report on the census is illegal? What is 11% specifically?
Well, my understanding, and maybe we need to dig down on the data, is that if you were to take a snapshot of the United States and you were to, you know, lay it all out there, about 11% of the human beings in the United States would be illegal immigrants.
Sure. And why are they here illegally? Most of that 11%, what percentage are here to work, are here as overstayed workers, are here as refugee? Like, well, actually, let's just go with what percentage are the ones that we desperately need to get rid of, like the violent people, the cartel, the drug people? What percent would you say of that 11 are the bad ones?
I couldn't tell you. If I were to take a stab at it, I'd say maybe 1%.
Cool. I agree. I think it's that or probably less. So right now you have a flawed immigration thing that either the flaw is that there are that many illegal people, or rather there are that many people who are quote unquote here illegally. That's more y'all's phrasing than mine because I think it's weird phrasing, but they are here illegally. They're here undocumented. They're overstaying visas, whatever. Some percentage of them are here. The problem is either that we have a process that is too hard or that we're letting in too many people. Do you feel like it is one way or the other? Which way do you think it is? Do you think that those people shouldn't be here, or that for the most part, that 99% should be able to be here legally with documentation?
I don't think any of them should be here illegally. I think we have a legal process.
Do you understand?
And they need to follow.
Okay, right. I understand that. Okay, then I'll back up a question before because I think I covered that with my question and it was missed, and that's fine. Do you think that the legal process is a big part of the problem and that legal process is I'd use the word ridiculous, but actually part of at fault. And that if we would improve that legal process should be improved to make it easier for a huge portion of those 11% to be able to be here legally, not necessarily as citizens, but with continued working visas or whatever refugee status, whatever is necessary.
Yeah, bring them in, man. I look at America like a business, and if their heart, is to build a family and learn what the American dream is and contribute, and I think that's great. They can go in the front door like everyone else did.
Sure, but the front door right now is tough. And by the way, a reminder that most of them did go in the front door. They are mostly here, that most illegal immigration is overstaying, right? Like Elon Musk overstayed.
Sure.
So that is most of the reason why they are here. And so we're talking about where is the actual problem? Are they the problem? Are they jerks for getting here? If they are refugees who are worried about actually getting refugee status, and to them, it was actually the most important thing that they just get away from their harmful thing. And so they were like, well, look, here's the illegal means by which I can get there. Are those the people that we just need to treat contemptuously and get rid of? But it sounds like we're mostly agreeing that anybody who is here that isn't here nefariously to be here shittily, we should have a legal process. And if we want to vote, if you want to call it, they should come in through the front door, fine. But the front door shouldn't be lined with fucking what are those things, those pins, those tacks that people, it shouldn't be like entering the house from Home Alone to go through the front door. It should be easy. If you are here and you are not a violent felon in your country, you are not a piece of shit, it should be easy for you to be able to renew whatever reason you were here before. Is that for the most case where we are in agreement?
I don't know if it should be easy. I think this is the greatest country ever. And I think we have a risk on our hands of becoming too big, too fast, a culture breaking down.
What culture?
I think we have American culture.
What is American
What is
culture?
American culture based on? Yeah.
It's the American experiment that all men are created equal.
Which is what? But who are the men that even wrote that? I mean, do you know what America was founded on?
Right. When I hear American experiment, I hear melting pot, large amounts of immigration.
Immigrants. The only thing that is American culture is other cultures, because we've immigrated. Well, obviously, then we have Native Americans as well. But aside from that, which we came over and just colonized everything, our culture that we have is immigrants.
It's also, Brian, it's a weird
how are we mixing up culture with more of what is the culture?
Probably a cat lady.
It's to me
because it's different, because it is slightly different, because they're not going in legally. And my ancestors came in through Ellis Island and filled in the paperwork, and
and that was it.
Easier.
That's all they had to do. They filled out the form and were welcomed with open arms. Brian,
a different world.
Wait, Brian. But Brian, do you think that was a better day? That was better immigration policy, what we did on Ellis Island? Because you know what Ellis Island is, right?
What is Ellis Island?
Open borders. It's an open border immigration policy. That's what Ellis Island was. It was full on open borders. So whether or not you want to say you don't agree with open borders now, if you like the Ellis Island, you have to say you used to think open borders was good. And then you have to come up with why it's bad now.
Because it's illegal now.
Okay, so we need to fix that it's illegal. The only problem is that it's illegal, correct, Brian? Right? Because it sounds like you're saying arbitrarily, these people are wrong because we changed the law. So right now, I can drink water out of this plastic bottle. But if tomorrow it's illegal, would it become immoral suddenly, or would the difference just be the law?
I mean, it was the law when okay, so good point. So let's just take this. So if someone was here and then they changed the law that you can't be here legally, then they should be grandfathered into it. But I don't think that's the case. I think it's always been illegal to immigrate and overstay your visa.
No, first of all, the concept of visas isn't. America hasn't had this whole concept of you could become a citizen for a favor and a smile back in the day.
Also, the first Europeans that came here just showed up and started taking over. There was no immigration process whatsoever. You wouldn't be here if it weren't for open immigration policy, whatever you want to call that. So I'm not understanding why you're okay with that then, but now it's the time. Now that you got yours, now is the time to shut everything down for everybody else. I'm confused.
It's just a law. We create laws as a country.
So then why do you not want to change? Why do you not want to fix the law? Why do you want to take advantage of the fact that you didn't have to worry about that law and therefore you're a citizen now? But now you want to, suddenly you really love the law, even though it would not be okay for you in the past.
I haven't said that. I mean, I don't really have a specific opinion on the standards of immigration. All I know is that we have standards. And we have people breaking those standards.
And humanity matters more. Right. And my counterpoint is that humanity matters more. So, Brian, I bet you I can get you to agree with me so quickly here. Democrats fucking suck. They're dog shit. Yes or no?
No.
Oh, see, I disagree. Democrats fucking are garbage. Now, here's the thing. I think that Republicans are bigger garbage. That Democratic policy fucking sucks. I think it's trying to put a Band-Aid on a gushing wound. And I thought we would agree on that. But I guess we don't. What about Republicans? Are you? Let's just go with Democrats are inefficient and they have sucky policy ideas, including in immigration. Does that work for you? Do you agree with that statement?
Yeah, I do, and I think it goes deeper than that. I think with Democrats, I think I voted for Obama.
Can I just continue? Right? That's fine. Can I just continue where I'm going with it before we go on sides?
Sure.
Okay, Republicans, inefficient, and they also have sucky policies. And let's just say with both of them, most of the policies are to benefit them to stay in power more than they are to benefit individuals. Would you agree with that? Both, across the board, I think that.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Immigration policy, therefore, having been crafted by these two parties, is likely going to be set up to benefit the parties more than they are to benefit citizens and individuals. Is that also correct?
Not necessarily.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you here, Brian, that is exactly the case. And
as long as we can vote.
No. Brian, I wish I had your optimism, but the fact of the matter is, the fact that we even have a quote unquote two-party system that 98% of representatives fall into, when almost all Americans don't feel represented by those two parties, shows that that whole system is broken down. To get into a political office, it is much more important that you know somebody or you are born as somebody. Much like to be rich, it's more important to be born rich than to be a hard worker. The immigration policies as they exist right now are to benefit those parties and to get them the support of the parties that are going to put them into office. And when it comes to the Republicans, the reason why it is so beneficial is because cheap illegal immigration labor is key to a lot of their businesses and in general key to a lot of their states' governments. That doesn't mean the Democrats don't also benefit from that kind of stuff. Of course they do. Yes, California benefits from illegal immigration and cheap exploitive labor, and so does Texas. So we're talking about two sides of the same fucking shitty garbage coin. Now, here is my point, Brian. When we talked about this being the census and whether or not it is treasonous, that is a system that you said yourself, I think you were trying to make the point, all hope isn't lost if the people can vote. Now, if the people need to vote to be able to change that system, won't the people who are most affected by that system be the people who are abused by it the most directly, these illegal immigrants? And therefore, if they're illegal, they can't vote. Wouldn't it actually make sense to go, they can't vote, but they're still here and they are still affected by our government. So we will make sure that representation where they are is still taken into account, just the numbers of them. They don't actually get to go vote and choose, but we get to say this community has an extra 100,000 illegal immigrants. And therefore, because this community has a lot of people, we'll distribute the number of seats that go into this area based on the people there so that the people in the place who may be being abused by the law have a chance at representation. Wouldn't it actually be the case that regardless of whether or not, because again, we're not talking about changing the 435. I again apologize that I thought we were. We're talking about distributing where we're going to put these people, where or whether or not representatives that will still be duly elected only by citizens are based on where people are, regardless if they themselves can vote. Wouldn't that actually be a good thing? Or would you say that anyone who isn't a citizen, including legal immigrants, deserve zero representation, even by the census data?
I think only the people who are here legally should count in the census. But
so if the illegal immigration system, as I think we just agreed to, was put into place by corrupt, shitty people to abuse them so that the rich people and the government, the people who run government, who have power, can benefit largely, those illegal immigrants should just fucking take all of that abuse and have even the smallest amount, which again, I looked it up. There's a chance that after 2020, the total number of representatives was 0 to 1 in favor of the Democrats, but it actually changes each time, and it because of Texas and its size and other states that have been affected by it, like Alabama, Mississippi,
it could have been more.
That it actually evens out.
The fact that there's any illegal immigrants there factoring into our system is a problem.
But I think I just explained to you why it should be a feature. If people are there and they're affected by our government, they can't vote, they can't change it. But if you have more representation amongst the community of people who actually have these people as neighbors and might care about them and have a shot at helping them because they are there, they are still in our custody, they're within our borders. Do these people deserve nothing, never a chance of basically a better life because politicians and rich people benefit off of exploiting them? Because right now what you were describing is such a minimal thing that maybe has a chance at getting them a little more noticed, but not actual representation. And in reality, we're going to give that, if anything, we need to do more because we have made it so hard for them to become here in legal status. But again, you said that you would have. Right now, legal immigrants don't get to vote for their representatives either. So if they're in a place until they are a citizen, you only get to if you're a citizen. So people who are here legally, went through the front door and stuff, still get no say in their representation, which is crazy. That we make the path to citizenship so hard for the people who are literally the backbone of our economy and being exploited. Brian, I cannot empathize with this. They get so little. Let's give them even less.
They shouldn't be here. They should be in their home country.
I disagree. I think they should be here, completely should be here and have been granted legal status. And I think you already kind of agreed with that at the beginning, that it shouldn't have been so hard for them to get that legal status.
You're not hearing my point. My point is that it's illegal and that they're breaking the law. And if you want
who cares?
Looser immigration, well, that's really what it boils down to.
Brian, it's not yes, you're right. It's not an important law, specifically whether they're here illegally. Brian, did you drive your car today?
No.
Have you driven a car this week?
Let's say I did, yes.
Okay, great. You did drive your car this week, right?
I did.
Okay, great. Did you only go the exact speed limit? No less, no more?
No, I was down and I was above it.
Okay, great. So I think that if you did it safely and you were within the 5-mile limit or whatever, and to tell you the truth, I don't even care if you did it unsafely, if it was a way that didn't affect other people. If you've got a back road that nobody's on, you probably shouldn't, but whatever. I'm not, if you told me that, I wouldn't call the cops and insist they go do it, but you would have broken the law. Great, you broke the law. So let's say you legitimately went 10 miles an hour over. If you had gone 10 miles an hour over and killed somebody, you would have been put in prison for manslaughter. Now, you didn't kill somebody, you get pulled over. Just because you could be put away for manslaughter as a result of this 10 miles an hour over, doesn't mean because you went 10 miles and over that you deserve manslaughter charges. So just because they are here illegally does not mean they've met the threshold of therefore they deserve. We're not talking about whether or not the law says they get it. We're talking about deserve. You don't deserve the maximum fine for going 5 over, even though you qualify for the maximum fine. And a person who is here illegally, just for being here illegally and nothing else, does not deserve the maximum penalty of deportation. That's crazy. They're here, they're supporting our economy. They are a net benefit. Even all of the ones that people think are getting these crazy welfare and these Visa cards that they just make up, they're getting $1,500 a month. That shit's whatever. They are a net benefit. So yes,
no, it's not made up. There was some. Well, I guess it depends on whether or not you're talking about state or federal, but there definitely were migrants in New York that were getting a shit ton of money. I mean, I remember there was one case where they walked into a fucking bodega or grocery store or something like that, and like the receipt prints out your what's it called? Your entitlements. If you use some method to utilize your entitlements to buy something at a grocery store or whatever, it prints out like how much EBT credit I guess you have, and then also like how much cash on hand you could possibly withdraw. And it was thousands of dollars on this fucking receipt for both of those things. Now, whatever, it's anecdotal. I can't fucking back that up. But I mean, I'm pretty sure, depending on the situation, I don't know about federal, but certainly at a state level, they're getting money. Are they benefiting from it? Yeah. I will tell you what though, I did not see how late it was, and I wasn't planning on going too long, so we'll have to continue this at some point. I'm gonna send you guys over to Casey. Casey looks like he's doing some politics and coding. He's got Malibu and Wampa over there. It's perfect fair for migrants to have a significantly lower standard of living to locals. Yeah, I think that's true. But anyways, I'm gonna send you over to Casey. Thank you and me. Thank you Birdman. Thank you Shane and everybody else. Grand Designs, appreciate it. And Scotty for coming in earlier there. I appreciate it. Drop me a follow and come back sometime. But yep, I'm gonna send you over to Casey. Maybe he's doing some Israel Palestine stuff. Something you guys can argue about. And yeah, I'll try to be on tomorrow. We'll see. But yeah, I'll talk to you later. Peace.
had a lot more power.